one of a new season for the Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship. It's on RaceBot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live from Lime Rock Park for the Lime Rock Park Pinktober Grand Prix. Coming up next, stay tuned. Qualifying is coming up with a lot of drivers in the field right now. A new season beckons for the Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship as Lime Rock Park welcomes us here for round one of the series on RaceBot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live. And what a season we had last time out. But we're here to begin proceedings yet again in the USA. A series where we've seen drivers from the Blancpain Endurance Series, NASCAR Mexico, Champ Car, and so many more, but a virtual racer named Roberto Montero was able to claim the bragging rights, winning the championship, dominating, you should say, right now, and he's back again. Wait to see if he can do it again here at Lime Rock Park in round one. The track itself, 2.4 kilometers in length, that's only 1.5 miles, extremely short, rounding itself clockwise and incorporating 7 turns, only one to the left, that's turn 3, but the other 6 are to the right, which will challenge the drivers as always for 45 minutes of racing later today. And when we say challenge, we seriously mean it. Dramatic elevation changes, extremely lots of drivers in this field. You got 48 right now. Qualifying traffic going to be a huge issue. Blind corners, minimal margin for error, and overtaking could be tremendously difficult around the road racing center of the East. Good afternoon, everybody. Jonathan Simon on hand in the commentary booth alongside Alvin Nieves for another season. Hugo Luis broadcasting for us on cameras, and Alvin, yet again, here we are. Another great season coming up for sure, but it's Lime Rock Park. We've got an immense amount of drivers here in the field. I'm looking forward to this qualifying session right now. It could be very, very painful for some.
Yeah, good evening to everybody watching in today. Yeah, new season, new hopes for everybody here. Who can stop Roberto Montero for going for the three-peat here? But Lime Rock Park, as you just mentioned, short track. And here with the MX-5, it could be a lot of excitement here as we are in the qualifying session right now.
Yeah, that qualifying session right now is headed by Hector Aguirre with 6 minutes gone down from the clock. Plenty of time remaining for these guys right now in the 15-minute qualifying session. Jose Zanella, another new name we haven't seen in much, at least last season, 58.175 in second place. Then Denaciano Martinez, we know who he is, Alvin, but what about our champion? Only in fourth right now. He's got 3 tenths, well basically actually 2.5 tenths to make up to Hector Aguirre, and we know how fast Hector is.
Yeah, definitely this field is not short of talent. We just saw last season everybody really here very talented, where they come from the sim racing world or they come from real life. But of course Roberto Montero was the dominating driver from last season. But you know, this is a new season, and with a new season comes new hopes, new challenges. And well, right here at Lime Rock Park, this is perhaps one of the shortest, if not the shortest, road course here in iRacing. As you just mentioned, pretty much all right-handers except for one left-hander that's kind of right in the middle of the course. But you know, short track, pretty much used for if you want to learn how to drive, things like that. It's also been used in IMSA. We have seen that as well for multi-class racing. So really interesting track and combo choice that we got here in today.
Yeah, we do. So Jake Vite right now, you can see in the first sector of the racetrack, 7 minutes and 22 seconds remaining on the clock, as you can see at the top of the screen right now. And Vite rounds himself around these very, very difficult corners, going through the S's. And now he'll just continue on the no-name straight, heading to turn 5, uphill. That's what it's called. Hugging the apex, sliding a little bit. Oh, he might lose the car. And he's definitely lost time from that, Alvin, as he now heads towards West Bend. But he just almost lost the car. Saved it in the end. Now he's on the grass as well. Not the most brilliant lap we've seen from Jake Vite.
Yeah, definitely. This track will have it has various challenges throughout the whole race. As we see here, he is going into turn 1. Very important to watch out for cars coming into the track. But as he just decides to abort the lap here, so let's see if we can follow somebody else here. So how about we go with Alex de Alba? Well, he just spun the car as well. So I guess we shouldn't be focusing on cars right now, because as soon as we focus on somebody, they kind of mess up their lap.
Yeah, so that's maybe they can feel the pressure. That's what we do, but no pressure on these guys. They've got plenty of time left, 6 minutes. Every lap here is just under a minute for the at least the quick guys. You can see Roberto Montero now. He's a couple of drivers exiting the pits. He's through turn 1. He's currently P4, and the traffic right there in front. So that is Jake Vite, who we were just following before. He's come out of the pits. He pulls off the side of the racetrack. Oh, Jesus. Jake Vite almost collecting Montero, distracting him a little bit there on his qualifying lap. But for all we know right now, the times may not increase or may not improve for a lot of drivers just because of this traffic. I don't want to bring it up for a second time, but it just seems so dramatic. Is there anything you can do, Alvin? Because to have a 57-second lap around here and 48 drivers, you essentially have to have 1 second between each driver.
Yeah, it is, and definitely this track it is a challenge trying to find that open space that you can find to lay down your fast lap here in qualifying. So space here at a premium today, with 48 drivers trying to stake a claim for pole position. Really important to kind of time it in terms of finding a space where you can go. The person that can really time it and get that space that he is looking for will definitely have the advantage in this qualifying session. But yeah, really tight here. Yeah, it will be a challenge, as we are just under 5 minutes to go into the qualifying session. Just following Roberto Montero as he just came out of the pits, going now through the turn number 4. Coming into this kind of straight that goes a little bit left and right, but you can take full throttle nonetheless here. And now he goes here into turn number 5, the uphill. Really important this turn here. The car can get really light and you can lose control very easily here. Now coming into the end of the lap here, or turn number 6. Now you coming downhill here, you gotta really nail this one down. It's a big compression here coming into the last turn, number 7, as he was just gonna start his lap, and Raul Perez Gama just got pole position.
He did, provisional pole for Raul, and that's by 1/1000th of a second. 58.038 for him above Hector Aguirre, who set a .039. You could not script that any closer unless they actually set the exact time. That would be a lot closer. But Perez Gama right now has the advantage, and you can see the clear track he has just ahead of him. That's Diego Ortega, who's well down the order in P20. Perez Gama, though, crosses the line again. This should be a rapid lap if he's got the slipstream, if he's got a nice clean lap to him. Crosses the line, but he does not improve, so not as quick this time around for Perez Gama. 3/10 down on his pole position time. Everybody else seems to be a bit stagnant in the field. Good to see Nelson Canache up there in P8. Good to see him qualifying well, at least for the first round of this season. A couple of notable names down the order is actually a driver moving up right now is Donaciano Martinez there, Alvin, up to P3, and he improves 1 position. Not ideal for him, but he does a little bit. And then what about Montero? 1/1000th of a second up on Donaciano, so he gets on the second row too.
Yeah, definitely. We are coming towards the end of this qualifying session with 2.5 minutes to go, and now all the fast drivers that really want to get on the track and really start laying down the fast times. Now is the time to do it. Try to get the space that wherever you can. Pretty much following right now the poleman Raul Perez Gama. It seems that there is a really good space there in between Raul Perez Gama and in the back of the field, so that could be a gap that somebody could be looking for there. Another gap that I'm trying to follow here between the 44 and 18. That's another good gap that if anybody wants to take in for this qualifying session, they could. Between 90 and 45, that's another good gap. So guys, now is the time to go.
Yeah, it is. So here we go. 1 minute 50 seconds remaining in the session. Hector Aguirre, pole position, 57.965. He's in the pits though, and he's not going to have time to set another lap. So right now, well, actually, he goes out in the pits. He might be able to cross the line in time. We'll wait and see, and we'll follow that in the background. But for Perez Gama, he does not have pole position anymore. He comes towards the conclusion of this run as he tries to get the slipstream from the car in front now. Very seamless through the final corner. No troubles for Raul, but he has to take pole. He has to improve by another 1/10 of a second. Crosses the line. Not quick enough this time around for Perez Gama. He remains in P2, but still on the front row. And very important, Alvin, at this stage right now. A minute remaining. We wait to see if anybody else can cross the line. And at the moment, it seems that Aguirre will not be able to set a time unless he's still over there on the no-name straight. It's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, it is definitely this is a challenge here as Hector Aguirre currently on pole position now, coming here into the west bend to trying to finish his lap. A little bit of traffic here, but it could be a matter of trying to, as he goes a little bit off track. So pretty sure that lap is not gonna count. But as things stands right now, he should be pretty happy with his time, and considering how tight this is, I don't think it's gonna be an issue for him to not retain pole position here today.
Yeah, so let's see. It's just important to get high up the order. Aguirre crosses the line, so he's going to have an opportunity to improve on his pole time if need be. Checkered flag is out though for qualifying here for round 1, and Aguirre pulls off to the side, not able to improve. Perez Gama in P2, unable to as well. He's pulled off to the racetrack as well. Here's Montero though across the line to finish, and he will remain on this second row, our championship winner from last season. Donaciano Martinez though, I think his session's all but over. He's got the checkered flag. Everybody else as well, checkered flag out. So it seems for the time being anyway, that pole position should be settled with Hector Aguirre unless some huge surprise comes out. The track should be very empty here, Alvin, in the closing stages, so you never know.
Yeah, it is now with the track pretty much empty. Anybody that is on track may have a shot here at pole position, but looking at the times here, I really don't see anybody trying to challenge for that pole position. So it should be Hector Aguirre's pole position for this race.
Yep, so there you go. Hector Aguirre, who's We know he's very quick, and we know he's able to achieve at least last season, but that is it for qualifying. We'll look at the grid for you here today for the race coming up in just a short moment's time, and it is Hector Aguirre on pole position with a 57.965. Brilliant pole position, the only driver into that 57-second range. Raul Perez Gama there on P2 shares the front row. Then it's Montero and Martinez on the second row, split by only 1/1000th of a second right now. Amazing. Zanella, Montero there, P5 and P6. Jose Luis Gallardo in P7. Canache, Maya, and Ortega round out the top 10. You can see down the order as well. Alex D'Alba in P12. And Abraham Calderon all the way down there in 14th. We know Calderon has some spikes of brilliance and spikes of inconsistency too. Let's see what he can achieve later on today. Vite P15. Down the order, some more and more names, all the way down to 47 drivers in the end. Took part in qualifying. We were expecting 48, but one did not continue. So here we go, ready for the race, Alvin. And we look at a standing start. And I am quite nervous for some of these drivers in the mid-pack, especially going through that double apex big bend to turn 1 and 2. It's going to be very, very tight for some of these guys in the MX-5.
It's definitely gonna be an interesting start here. A standing start with 48 drivers going for that real estate going into turn 1. Definitely pole position, Hector Aguirre and Raul Perez Gama should definitely have the advantage going into turn 1, but you never know with them fighting, and well, you can never discount Roberto Montero, the two-time defending champion, starting from third place today.
Yep, here we go, waiting for the grid to take place. 35 seconds scheduled until we have to commence the start. Can start earlier if everybody actually takes the grid, but don't think that's going to happen today. Alvin, final 5 seconds before the green flag. We've got a couple of drivers waiting. Actually, I'm just having a look to see if everybody's taking the grid. They are, so everybody's getting ready. And we have 10 seconds until the green flag. Let's wait to see if Hector Aguirre can maintain pole position. Here we go now for round number 1. The lights will illuminate. We have 45 minutes of racing coming up. Red lights on. Aguirre on pole. A new season begins as we go green from Lime Rock Park. Seamless start for Aguirre. Perez Gama goes to the inside line to defend from Roberto Montero. Into turn 1 though, fairly stagnant between the top 4 as Martinez is attacked by Jose Zanella for P4 there. And Zanella up into the 4th position. Now they head towards turn number 3. Still tight between the top few drivers right now, but Zanella maintains 4th. Brilliant start from him.
Yeah, definitely. Fantastic. As we got trouble here in the back, as 1, 2, 3 cars on the track here. We got here one of the cars here. He just went off the track, but was able to rejoin safely. And there was still more mayhem here in the middle.
And
as we
Zanella
got 2
crashes.
cars.
Sorry, Alvin. Sorry, Zanella there from P4 also crashed. So mayhem in the back, as we can see. Oh, cars flipping upside down. That's incredible. Vita's involved in that one. We've got another few Calderon's turned around. Calderon in the orange there. You can see the number 2. Oh, he's still trying to get pumped around to get back on the racetrack. That was absolutely horrific. And at the front too, we saw Zanella spin from P4 after making a brilliant start. But at the end of the first lap, it's Hector Aguirre from Perez Gama, Montero 3rd, Martinez 4th, and Nelson Canache into P5.
Yeah, definitely. We knew that this start was gonna be a little bit hectic with all the cars here in today trying to vie for that precious real estate here in Lime Rock Park. Not a really big track, so you really have to cooperate with your fellow drivers here. Yes, the track is small, the car is small, but you still have to try to make the best out of the situation.
Yeah, so at the front right now, Aguirre needs to break away from the slipstream of Raul Perez Gama just to drop him back a little bit. Lap car ahead, gets out of the way. Car taken to the pit lane as well. Lots of drivers in the pits already going a lap down. Here's Montero though on the attack for P2. Up the inside, braking. Oh, they tap. Oh, and that's Perez Gama flipping around into the tire barriers. Oh, jeez, and his race is over. That was a horrific accident. And Perez Gama aims to continue. I'm surprised that car could even commence. That's just incredible right there. But the touch between the two, Perez Gama went flying in the air, Alvin. And I'm surprised he's still all the way there in P12. And a very difficult rejoin as drivers go around him. That car's totaled. Game over for him as we look at the replay.
Yeah, definitely. This is what we pretty much been talking about since the start of the race. A short track, and everybody will be vying for position. And well, we knew that turn one there, you go into turn one, it's a decreasing radius turn, so as you turn it gets tighter and tighter. And well, you know, was one of those things that happened. Really unfortunate for Raúl Pérez Gama what happened there, but looks like he is able to continue. So let's see what as this race progresses. Let's see if he can recover and have a great finish.
So we'll see what can happen right now. As you said, it's going to be incredibly tight. As right now we look at Aguirre, the gap now 1.6 seconds to Montero after that accident, so he's got a bit of breathing room, but the lap traffic is going to come into play here. Plenty of time remaining. Montero P2 still behind there, Martinez P3. Look at our movers and shakers through the field, because Nelson Ganache has moved up 4 positions, 8th to 4th. Durelli and Alex de Alba starting outside the top 10, get themselves into 5th and 6th. We got Maya also moving up spots. What about Ramon Vera, 19th to 9th, and Aldo Villamil there, 24th to P10 at the start. Brilliant stuff from these drivers. They're in a little scrap on their own right now, and the top 10 seems to have broken away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, it seems like there seems to be a really nice breakaway here in the front of the field. Pretty much it's gonna be the race that we have been expecting here. Yeah, the drivers are really racing hard. They are racing hard against each other. Things happen here and there, but you know that's part of the racing that we get here with the MX-5s. One good thing that these Mazda MX-5s have is that these are they can take quite a bit of punishment.
Jeez. Sorry, Alvin. Kanache spun there from P4, and he's collected a driver behind. Oh, no. So mayhem here in the early laps as Kanache, we were just speaking about him, was up into P4, went through the uphill bend, which has caused a lot of controversy for these drivers, and now he's absolutely caused a bit of mayhem there. He pulls into the pit lane to repair that MX-5. Not good for his day.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those things that, well, you know, you're trying to go for lap traffic, and well, you know, things happen. A little bit of miscommunication here and there, really unfortunate for Nelson Camacho.
Yeah, not good for him, and we just wait to see if anybody else can at least maintain the car and keep it in a straight line on this racetrack. We don't want it to be a race of attrition here today, but the traffic's starting to decrease. We have a few retirements coming up. Look at this battle, though, for P4 right now. Vera, Maya, Villamil as well, up the inside of the uphill bend. Oh, it's so tight between the two as they make contact. Who's going to survive this battle? Wasn't expecting that at all. And Maya right now, actually, that's not Villamil, excuse me. That's Raúl Pérez Gama, who's in P26. So after repairing the car, he's a lap down, trying to go up the inside of Miguel Maya there in P5.
Yeah, definitely traffic here, definitely playing a big factor here. As we got the top 3 here, we got Héctor Aguirre, Roberto Montero, and Donaciano Martinez just a bit behind him, trying to keep a little bit of distance here and there. You know, as this has been a race that had been a little bit of attrition as the top 2 here go around traffic, and Roberto Montero starting to put in the pressure on Donaciano Martinez. Going into turn number 5, let's see what Roberto Montero can do. A little bit squirrely there, but keep it under control as they go now into turn number 6. Héctor Aguirre keeping it in front as they go downhill here into turn number 7. This compression can really help you or hurt you. Kind of depends on how you take it, but Héctor Aguirre, no problem. Now finishing the lap here, the gap between first and second, 0.25 seconds.
Yeah, very, very close, but Montero thinks twice before lunging up the inside. We saw what happened with Raúl Pérez Gama, who would definitely be, well, to say he'd be annoyed would be an understatement after that crash. And it was quite spectacular the way he flipped around. Here they go around more lap traffic seamlessly there. Montero has the advantage, you could say, right now, as they head towards the no-name straight once again. But look at this, Alvin. Couple of lap cars ahead, and they're going through the uphill bend. Then you've got West Bend too. Oh, this is going to get shaky.
Yeah, it definitely is going to get really interesting. If you look at it, when you're going through traffic, the car that you really don't want to be is the car in front, because you're pretty much kind of like opening the path here and there for the cars right behind you to kind of go through it. So you are the one losing time, and they are just right there just behind you waiting for something to happen and then react.
Yep, so we'll have a quick look at the replay of the start right now, as it was very seamless between the top four. But you saw right there, it was, we saw Perez Gama maintaining his position. Jose Zanella, though, up into P4. So he had a brilliant start, and we'll follow this hopefully all the way down into the uphill bend, where Zanella just absolutely binned the car. And it was that kind of start for Jose Zanella, Alvin. He probably got so excited, the tires went up to temperature by the time he got to the uphill bend.
Yeah, and definitely this right here, when you have a standing start and you have all these cars here, you really have to take it easy, especially if you're starting right in front around top 4, maybe top 6. You do have an advantage by having some relatively clean track there. So really, really unfortunate what happened there to Sanada. You sometimes get excited, you are in front, and well, it happens.
Yeah, that's the way life works sometimes. It's not always going to pay dividends for you after brilliant starts. I've learned that from experience sometimes as well. You pass 50 drivers on the first lap, then you crash, and you're wondering what is life. But in the end, though, he'll make up for it next round, next week's time. Let's see what happens right now. Is that the number 90 car there? That's Juan Carlos Anton Garcia. What's happened there? Oh, Anton Garcia now in a battle. Still alongside him, and now about to spin. Oh, he maintains the car right now. Dorelli's right behind him, P12, trying to go around the outside of turn 3. That's not going to work. Needs the rubbered line, which is starting to rubber up quite rapidly, and that's important too, Alvin. That rubbered in line, it's getting more and more darker just because there's so many drivers out here in the field.
Yeah, it is. He just gave it a little nudge there to Fausto Duran Contreras going into that turn number 2. So he just took that position, just a little bit of contact there to take the position. But you know what? These cars can take quite a bit of contact there. But yeah, Juan Carlos Anton Garcia now going into in 13th place. And you were talking about the line starting to get rubber in.
Yeah.
Really fast here, considering it's a really short. It's a short lap, but also you got 48 cars putting rubber onto this track. So definitely, the track it's going to rubber in easily. And as the rubber in, also you're gonna get marbles as quick as the track rubber in.
Yeah, so that's really important, especially in terms of overtaking. Those marbles force some drivers to think twice about a move, maybe around the outside of turn 3. As we look at Dorelli, he's still trying to look up the inside here, maybe a peek into the uphill bend. A few drivers have attempted that. We saw Perez Gama earlier on, a few minutes ago. But Dorelli now has to hang back, and they've got 5 seconds to Contreras behind, and they've got about 6.4 to Sachevsky in P10. Now I have to say this right now, as we look, oh, there's a lap car just getting out of the way there. Sachevsky started in P28, he's in P12. Amazing for Nikolai Sachevsky. And then wait for this, Aldo Villamil 24th on the grid, P7. Ramon Vera 19th, still in P5. These guys have made up an immense amount of positions. Don't forget Espinoza, Hernandez there in 10th and 11th. We're going to see more of this, and from the back of the grid almost, Mariquez there, started in P44, currently in 17th, and Hernandez, the other one, Gerardo Hernandez, P41 on the grid, all the way in 18th. And it just goes to show you keep yourself clean in the early laps, and you never know, with that pace car coming up, they could possibly move themselves even into the top 10.
Yeah, it definitely it does pay off to try to keep a clean car here. Try try to keep some patience here and there. It definitely does pay up, as we got the battle for the lead here really heating up between Hector Aguirre and Roberto Montero now. Coming into this no-names race, some traffic here in front, but I don't think it's gonna be a factor right now. Coming into this turn number 5, let's see if Roberto Montero can do a quick setup here and see if he can get a good run. It's kind of keeping the distance right now going into turn number 6, as seems like I got something here. Wait a second. Well, it may have been some technical difficulty here, so Johnny, back to you.
Yeah, so we'll see if Hector Aguirre actually continues on the racetrack right now. Montero currently leads, and that could be a technical retirement for Aguirre, but nevertheless there, Jake Vite battling alongside Manriquez for P15. That was quite hair-raising through turn 3. The two of them almost tapped, and I think they almost did make contact. Very close between the two, and Vite now seamlessly away in P15, but we wait for whether or not Aguirre can return, and that may be his race over, Alvin. Technical difficulties, Jose Luis Gallardo out of the event, and possibly Aguirre to add to that as well. Not great for Hector Aguirre, as he had such a great advantage this round with his pace. Also had the advantage on Montero, and now as we look at the battle between Ocampo and Valdivia, and that is day over for Hector Aguirre. Absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is definitely, as we got Roberto Montero now going into this battle for what is effectively P20 and P21 between Antonio Valdivia and Eduardo Ocampo. It kind of seems like for some reason Roberto Montero, it kind of sometimes it seems like he's always figures a way to be here in front and lead through the race, where it's by pure pace of just by lady luck, you know. So Roberto Montero now leading the race. You know, it's sometimes these thing happens where you get your technical difficulties here and there, but you know, it's part of the racing. It happens, and you just gotta go with it, you know. As we got now the battle here for P10 between the car number 94 of Mactor Antonio Luna Hernandez and Nikolai Zajewski.
Yep, Zajewski right behind here right now. So and in front of them as well, that's Villamil and Olin. So Olin's caught up to Villamil there. Battle for P6, 7, 8, 9 here with 30 minutes remaining in the event. Plenty of time for these drivers to make up any positions lost, just improve on the positions gained there. We cross that half an hour remaining mark. 30 minutes left in the first round of the Go-Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship. And as Zajewski tries to get a good run out of the downhill corner there. Brilliant stuff there out of turn 7. Has the advantage in the slipstream, but is the straight going to just cut in on him too late? He has a peek up the inside, and that sort of threw Hernandez off the line. He's taking a late apex. Will close in on turn 2. Turns into the corner. Good stuff from Hernandez, but Zajewski maintains the apex speed. Into 3. Very close. Zajewski has a peek. Not brave enough, though. And I think he was more rational rather than brave. Good stuff from Zajewski, and now he's got a good run heading to the uphill.
Yeah, definitely. Zajewski here going side by side with Antonio Valdivia, trying to get into turn number 5 to see for P number 10, and it's all really close there, but they do make it work indeed. Now Nikolai Zajewski really has to think really hard about it as they are coming into turn number 7, this diving turn here. See if Nikolai Zajewski can get a good run coming here at turn 7 as Antonio Valdivia, Marco Antonio Luna Hernandez. My bad. Just running just a little bit wide here as they start just another lap here. Really interesting here. These cars, they are just a little bit low when it comes to top speed compared to our cars that we have seen in this series. But it's all about the momentum. You keep the momentum going in these cars, chances are you are going to have a good finishing position here today.
Yeah, and we know that from Skip Barber's at least, which is the track that is all but familiar with Lime Rock Park, or a car, excuse me, that's familiar with Lime Rock Park, as we look at this battle here between Hernandez and Manriquez there. Just very close between the two of them. And in front of them, actually, that's Raul Perez Gama. He's still in P27, making his way through the field. As the two of them get a bit shaky here, Manriquez stuffs up turn 3. Now through the right-hander, they've completed the S's. Hernandez now biding his time, doesn't know where to go. Look at this though for P5 and P6. Cosio very close to Villamil. And now Villamil's gotten through, so can Cosio fight back there for P5? I don't think he can. So started all the way down in P13, up into at least P6 right now. And I think that's it for Cosio. He just can't do it. Not going to have enough time on his hands right now. As I believe, actually, we may have seen Alex D'Alba either enter the pits or he's out of the race. Something's happened to Alex D'Alba. It may have been him who just crashed really hard as we heard that.
Yeah, most likely going to have been him as it's this battle here for what is P4 and P5 between Miguel Mir and Ramon Vera. It's starting to get it's starting to heat up here as they are trying to go through traffic. You're really snaking through traffic, trying to battle that traffic, trying to get rid of it as soon as possible, and while trying to battle as hard, not trying to let the other car go away.
Yeah, so there we go. As Montero now 8.6 second lead, and he's got plenty of room to himself. Martinez there, P2, easy stuff. Vera there in P3, as we flick to him as a shaky moment coming out of the uphill through West Bend as well. Miguel Maya right behind, half a second. They come up to a couple of lap cars here, battle for what is essentially P3. Maya out of the final corner, runs very wide there. I was going to say a little bit, but that was all four wheels off the racetrack. Now Maya 2/10 quicker last time around than Vera, but the lap car should be able to help here as Vera catches the car at not the most ideal time, and caution's out right now, and that's helped Ramon Vera because he had a lap car in a shaky situation, and Montero will lead the field come the pace car right now. And we should see, I don't think drivers will make too many pit stops in the MX-5, but you never know if some of the drivers at the back find that to be a huge advantage. Why not?
Well, you know, from what we saw last season, yes, that could be an advantage, especially if you are behind. But this track here today, it's not really that abrasive, and the MX-5, it's a car that takes good care of its tires. And when you also consider the amount of entries that we got in here today, coming into the pits and perhaps trying to get some new set of tires may not be that advantageous.
Yeah, so that's, as Alvin says, you don't know, and then it might not be as advantageous anyway. Lots of drivers waved around now the pace car. Anybody a lap down, so everybody up to Jake Vita in P13 was on the lead lap, and even Vita was just there. We saw him almost being lapped by the leaders towards the end. But Hector Gonzalez onwards from P14, they'll all be waved around to the lead lap. And I know this isn't a huge issue, but having more cars trying to make their way around the pace car than actual cars on the lead lap could be very shaky here in the wave around period.
It definitely is, and especially for some new drivers here that may not be very familiar with what is this competition caution here. Really important, just try to keep the car on one side and let just a little bit of communication between drivers here and there, and everybody should be able to make it safely onto the end of the lead lap.
As we look at the top right now, Montero P1, Martinez P2, Alex D'Alba is in P3 right now, so if you're following the timing screens, he may not be there. He is actually in P3, he's confirmed. No disqualifications there, no penalties, and he's just ahead of Ramon Vera, P4, Miguel Maya, P5, Cosio in the 6th position, just ahead of Villamil, and Nahumolin in 8th. And rounding out the top 10, it's Espinoza, Hernandez. You see Sergio Torelli as well, start 11th, still in his starting position. He may actually be the only driver who is currently there. No, Valdivia is 16th, started 16th too. But you just have to feel for guys like Perez Gama, Jose Zanella, who should be there at the top. Is it an emotional thing to go through, Alvin? Like, I mean, we know we all have tough times. We know we love to race here in the virtual environment, but is it that dramatic for some of these drivers to lose that, especially in round one? Not good for your season.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it is a virtual environment, as you just mentioned, but you always come here and you always want to win. You know, yes, you want to come in and compete and have fun, but above else, if you are very competitive and you do have the skills to compete for the win, you know, why not? You try to go for it and you try your best to try to have the best result possible. So when something happens that is really out of your control, it can be really frustrating and in a way also kind of demoralizing. But the real champions are those that can even in the lowest of lows, they can stand up and come into next round stronger than ever.
What I have to ask this in this car right now is the pace car lights are actually out before we go. Is it that difficult to get used to 24 hours before the event? Because if you're new to the series, we only find out the car and track 24 hours before the race takes place, and these drivers have to get used to it quickly.
It certainly can be, but especially with this car and track, this is one of those that everybody starts when they first come into iRacing. So in a way, this current track is not really it's not really that difficult. But for the next round, which by the way we don't know where are we going next time, it can be really difficult as the pace car is coming into the pit. So we should be lining up for the restart here, Johnny.
Yep, and look at Montero floors it as Martinez right behind tries to get the jump, and he's going to suffer as well. Who's that in P3? So a couple of drivers still making their way through the field. Viles, who's a lap car now. Montero, this is going to be very close between him and Viles, who is not on the lead lap. So essentially Martinez, who's second in line, leads the lap. Drivers behind trying to form up into position. Couple of drivers making contact too. Oh, and there's one, Carlos Anton Garcia, P11 right there, fighting with Jake Vite. Vite closes the door on him. And now Garcia gets tapped, turned around by Contreras. He spun around, damage to his MX-5. Not the start he wanted.
Yeah, definitely not the start that he wanted. Now, I was trying to look at the restart, and the person that started in second place right there in that restart, Francisco Viles, I think he just got the... Oh, as we got a crash here with Sergio Durelli. So,
yeah, Durelli.
Card number 86 here. Looks like he got a big crash here coming out. That's trying to look at us, see what happened. Yeah, just coming into that uphill, really things started really happening in the midfield. Just a little bit tap here. Got some friendly taps here and there, but the car doesn't look to be that damaged. So really lucky for him.
Oh, and that's Valdivia. Valdivia spinning around at turn one. Has he kept the car in a straight line? No, he hasn't. He's going to go back onto the racetrack, but no traffic. That could have ended in tears for a lot of drivers right there. But now at the start, I'm unsure what's going on right now as the 07 Miguel Maya spins. Maya from the top 5 has spun as well. His day's done. Suspension damage. He's into the wall. He can't steer that car at all, and that's his day done. Oh no, another driver out of the top 5.
Antonio Valdivia also just spun here, coming into turn number 1. But so it's really started to happening here. Everybody really speeding as we got a battle for the lead here.
Yep, here's Martinez around the outside. Can he get it done into the first corner? We know what happened last time out with Montero and Perez Gama. Montero, the inside line, easy stuff as he now cuts back in, but Martinez has forced him offline. Where is he going to go into turn 3? The only left-hander on the circuit here at Lime Rock Park, and that is Montero, living for another day in the lead. And now Martinez needs to keep the pressure on Alvin here into the uphill bend.
Yeah, definitely, yes. It looks like Donaciano Martinez really having the advantage here, being the aggressor. But you know, this is something that Roberto Montero has been really used to. He seems to always be here in the lead, and somebody being the aggressor, but
Oh!
and traffic, they're really close there, but it looks like Donaciano Martinez really can't get an advantage here, but Roberto Montero says, no, I'm gonna defend tooth and nail, you're not getting this lead from me. So Donaciano Martinez, you know what, I'm going through the outside and let's see who has the best car here. And they're still going side by side here, nobody giving an inch here as Roberto Montero gets the lead just a little bit coming there, coming out of turn number 2 after number 3 with Donaciano Martinez. They only left her in some lap traffic here, and it looks like Donaciano Martinez finally got the lead here. So now let's see if he can start to run away, but I guess that Roberto Montero is not going to give up that easily.
Yeah, and we talk about the luck for Montero. That time out with the lap car through turn 3, the left-hander just didn't work out well for him. Oh, shaky through the uphill bend. Martinez, though, back onto the racing line as now they use the grip through the right-hander. Montero biding his time, waiting for the right time to pounce. Alex D'Alba in P3, still not close enough to make this a 3-race battle. But let's see what Montero can do here. Round number 3 with 16 minutes remaining. Martinez goes to the inside line. A little bit of a Verstappen chop there, but he keeps it together. Not as aggressive as Max. And Montero now is the bridesmaid in this battle. This race, Alvin, is absolutely hectic, and we still have 16 minutes remaining.
Yeah, definitely is. Now, if we go back to the previous championship, the first race it was on the MX5s at Charlotte, and that was the only race that Roberto Montero didn't end up winning. And right now he is running in second place, but this race and this battle definitely not over here, as that lap traffic just coming just out just in time there, as Roberto Montero really trying to get a run, but that also allowed Alex D'Alba to join this party here.
Yeah, that's as Montero. Now I'm still confused as to what happened there. That was a lap car getting out of the way, and look at this right now. Alex D'Alba has joined the fight. Top 3 fight for the lead. 15.5 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for these guys. As always, we always mention the timing screens, but what we should focus on is whether or not there's a few lap traffic ahead, few cars. There doesn't seem to be any for at least another few corners, just looking visually right now from Martinez's point of view. So it should be a fairly earned battle right now. Any position earned will be a position genuinely earned and not actually earned through, you know what I mean, through from lap traffic.
Yeah, it certainly is. This 3-car battle here for the lead really started to heat up, but Alex D'Alba finally got to close the gap here. Now, after those 3, we got Ramon Vera in 4th place, just 1.5 seconds behind. Seems to be a really comfortable running there in 4th place. And 5th place, we got Nahu Molina. He's battling really hard there with Aldo Villa. I mean, for P number 5. And that battle for the lead tried to heat up again as Roberto Montero goes back to the side of Donaciano Martinez, sorry. But battling here, Roberto Montero takes the lead again, and I don't think this is gonna be over.
No, Martinez has the cut back into the uphill bend. Now through the no-name straight. Martinez a bit shaky. Really have the confidence under braking. Throws it up the inside. Martinez. Oh, and there's a car just stopped on the inside of the racetrack. And that came out of nowhere as Alex D'Alba now has a look here for P2. So these 3 battling for the podium. And will they reel in Ramon Vera in P4? He's going to join this fight too. And Nahuma Lin's just going through the west bend, so he's got 5 seconds to make up to join the fight. But this is about to be a 4-horse race for the lead as Montero has a look up the inside now. Can he reclaim the lead? Breaking into turn 1. Where's Alex D'Alba going to place his car? D'Alba just being patient. Doesn't know where to go. Inside outline. Choose your line, Alex. But he's still a bit too far behind. Martinez back into the top ranks.
Yeah, definitely. This is starting to really heat up. First there were 2. Then Alex D'Alba just joined in. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we got Ramon Vera joining the party. So, get your dancing partner and strap in because 13 minutes left. This is going to be amazing.
Yep, this certainly is. And now Vera is joining basically a fight for P3 as D'Alba's struggling to just keep within the top 2. It seems that He'll only be there if they start fighting and battling alongside each other. So you don't know what's going on. Another car there up the inside. Is that the same car that was on at the uphill bend? It seemed to be. I'm not sure who that is though. It's Montero though anyway. As I look up the inside, once again though, this is becoming repetitive between the top two. And Martinez says, look, you're going to have to do something different, Roberto. I'm used to that right now.
Yeah, definitely. And not so far behind them, Alex de Alba and Ramon Vera also battling there for that P3 and P4 with Alex de Alba having the advantage right there. But this battle here, these top four, as Roberto Montero decides to try to take the lead again from Donaciano Martinez, but decides to just tuck them behind and trying to get around here in the uphill. Let's see what happens. Everybody's safe here through the uphill, but seems like the top four kind of break into two groups of two here. So they may start to cool down just a little bit, see what the other car can do, and perhaps with 5 minutes to go, turn on the aggression and try to go for the race win here.
Yep, so we don't know if they're just taking a bit of a timeout for some of these guys. Let's give a shout out, by the way, to Jake Vite, who's in P6. He's just been underrated this race, hanging around there. He had a bit of contact heading into the uphill bend with Aldo Villamil there in P5. But as Olin starts to break away, Olin's actually in P5, excuse me, Villamil 6th, Vite 7th. So Olin could possibly join this fight if he can get a little bit closer. We don't know. He's very, very far behind. He's sort of clutching at straws right now to see who's capable of maintaining within the fight as they head through the West Bend.
Yeah, definitely. As it's looking right now, these top four decided to smoke the peace pipe here for a while, you know, trying to cool down and settle. But Roberto Montero, he kind of seems like no, he's going for the advantage here, going into turn number one. Let's see what he can do going into under braking. But Donaciano Martinez definitely defending that line there and that lead. And also something really important here. Yeah. We also got extra points for whoever can lead the most laps, and we saw that can also make a difference at the end of the season. Pretty much Roberto Montero swept the previous season with when it came not only to race wins but also bonus points. So for Donaciano Martinez here, getting those extra points, that means 2 extra points that Roberto Montero will not get.
Yeah, and right now he's led 7 laps, Montero's 14 and Aguirre in 12. We know Aguirre is not in the fight for the lead anymore. So if Martinez can lead the rest of the race, he's going to get those 2 extra bonus points for the most laps led. So brilliant point there. Whether he can maintain the lead is another question in itself. And Montero still behind right now. He's not as aggressive as he was earlier on, but I just think he doesn't look as close as he was. Is this as we discussed before? Is he just waiting? Because I doubt you'd wait. You just want the lead right now. You want to maintain your position. You can't leave it to the last lap because Martinez is just going to chop and block him.
Yeah, definitely. The longer you wait, you know, the more aggressive the leader is gonna get. And I don't blame him, to be honest. Roberto Montero pretty much swept the previous season, pretty much stormed through, and so who knows? As something happened here to car number 27. But yeah, going back to this battle for now, it seems like it's going back to a 3-car battle as Ramon Vera starting to lag just a little bit behind. So now Donaciano Martinez, Roberto Montero, and Alex de Alba, your top 3.
Yeah, so Vite just went up the inside of Villamil there, and now he is into the 6th position. Jake Vite, who's having a ripper of a race right now, as the lead still takes place as always. Alex de Alba still in the fight right now. De Alba looks good, I gotta say. De Alba, it looks at times, some laps he just can't keep up. Other laps he's right within the clutches. And there you can see through turn 3, butchers the corner. And he gets, well, a very, very poor exit is an understatement right there. That's a horrific exit for Alex de Alba. But nevertheless, right now, we look at the top 10 for you. Martinez leads ahead of Montero. We know de Alba in the top 3 battle as well. Vera's dropped behind, though. So unless they start fighting, Vera's going to keep dropping back and back. Olin in the top 5. Good result for Nahum so far. Vite in 6th. We just saw the pass on Villamil, who's currently in P7. Rounding out the top 10, it's Marco Antonio Luna Hernandez in P8, Cosio 9th, and Fausto Duran Contreras in 10th. As Montero now again, another round. This was a boxing fight. It'd almost have to be a unanimous decision for Martinez. Nobody's knocking out the other. And you just don't know what's going to happen right now with the top two.
Yeah, definitely. But like in any other boxing match, when you hear the bell with 10 seconds to go sound, you know that they're gonna really go, they're really gonna go for it. But you know, something that I kind of think that I'm kind of growing kind of suspicious on Alex de Alba's tactics here. He's seen that the top two here, Luciano Martinez and Roberto Montero, can really get really feisty there, battling for the lead. So he may be kind of settling back there and perhaps waiting for something to happen. And if the top two here tangle, Alex de Alba can be looking for a surprise win here today.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. I just think de Alba's too slow, though, because I think he'd be a lot closer to Montero right now. This is way too far back. He's half a second. He wants to be a lot closer, I would assume. And, well, you mentioned in boxing, you're here with 10 seconds to go, the bells. Maybe we should have that on the final lap here. You know when they do in cycling too, track cycling, have the bells go out in the final lap? And then maybe we should have them play for the whole 57 seconds of the final lap and see who's less distracted by it.
Yeah, but did you know that they also get a white flag that signifies 1 lap to go?
Yeah, well that could help.
So that is our bell.
Yeah, there you go. As the Cortez and Viles right now in a bit of a fight here at the final corner. And Jorge Cortez had a bit of a look, and it just seemed that Viles anyway was hounded by that. And here's Adrian De Los Santos up the inside, and that's going to be P18 for De Los Santos, as Cortez not really as aggressive as he could have been, but you'd expect in the closing stage of the race he would, though. Villamil has had a moment. Aldo Villamil. So he's had a moment there at the uphill bend. He's tapped the wall. He's spun around now. Oh, no. And Villamil, who was in the top 10 for most of the event, I think he's absolutely damaged the steering rod or the suspension in that car. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Does not look good now as he takes to the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely really unlucky there going into turn number 6. Just touch a little bit of the grass there, and that is just enough for the car to go around into the wall. Really unfortunate for Aldo to go back.
Yeah, but he enters the pit lane as well, so that's not good. Not good for him, obviously. As he tries to service that car, he's going to lose a lot of time. And quick repair for him anyway. Montero, though, right now, lap traffic ahead, and that's helped Roberto Montero. So now it's becoming more and more interesting as the drivers decrease in the field, but with 5 minutes remaining, Montero now has another opportunity for the lead. This time he goes for the outside line. Haven't seen that all event from Roberto Montero. He loves to hug the inside here into the big bend. Turn 1 and 2. Cambered corner, easing the car in. Steering angle, very smooth from Montero. Martinez a bit on the edge right now. On the edge of almost losing the lead as well, as Montero gets the run out of turn 4, the right-hander. Here's Montero, left side, right side. Martinez closes the door through the uphill bend. Fairly seamless between the two. And Montero, looks very, very good here.
Yeah, definitely. And just another lap car there at the side, but no problem for these two here. Roberto Montero starting to turn up the aggression here. It seems like he is just had enough of running here in second place. Roberto Montero trying to battle here for the lead.
Yep, so he's dropped back right now. Not good enough for him. What would you do in this situation, Alvin? Would you just attack right now or go on the final lap?
How about just give a friendly tap on the rear and just take
the NASCAR style.
Yeah, NASCAR style, something like that. But no, it is really difficult. You know, you do want to go for the win. You know that Luciano Martinez is going to defend really hard tooth and nail, but you also know his strengths and weaknesses. So really kind of hard to decide what really you want to do, but in a way it seems like if you leave it for the last turn, you are definitely gonna run out of straightaway. You are not gonna make it into the start finish line in the lead. So I guess in the second to last lap will be the ideal, ideal moment to try to go for the race win here.
Yep, so right now Martinez crosses the line and now he leads the most laps. 15 to his name. Montero's got 14. If they're tied, they both get 2 bonus points each, I'd assume, for leading the most laps. You can't separate the two of them. So Montero needs to get it now, and I think he's aware of that because he gets one of the most brilliant exits of the race out of any driver through turn 2. And the lap traffic ahead is certainly not going to help Adrian De Los Santos there, all the way down in P18 on his own. How is he going to play in this fight with only a few laps remaining? There's Martinez through the uphill bend. De Los Santos gets out of the way seamlessly, and now Montero has a good run.
Yeah, definitely great sportsmanship there from Adrian De Los Santos. Well, moving out and then there's these top 3 coming here. Alex de Alba, we said that he was starting to lag just a little bit, but he seemed to start catching here as Roberto Montero's case. A look at the inside, but no, Donaciano Martinez just too far away. So this is starting to become here a 3-car battle again, as we pretty much from the timing here, it seems like we only have 2 laps to go here.
Yep, so not much time left for Montero, and don't forget Alex de Alba in the 3rd position, who has an opportunity to, well, he's definitely going to get on the podium if he keeps the car clean, but possibly a race win to his name, or even P2 would be nice to at least improve from that 3rd position. He started all the way outside the top 10 in P12. For Martinez and Montero, they started 4th and 3rd respectively on that 2nd row. They shared it. Seemed to be a progressive start. Martinez passed by Zanella. Now wide through the final corner. They both go wide. What about Alex de Alba? He's got the inside line. Here's Alex de Alba for the lead. Goes all the way up the inside and overtakes 3 cars. Alex de Alba leads on the final lap of the event.
Yeah, definitely fantastic action. I was just calling him. I said that he was just staying behind, watching the action, and he just looked for an opportunity. That lap car in turn number 7 definitely blocked the apex for Donaciano Martinez and Roberto Montero, and Alex de Alba, from what it seems here, it's the last lap of the race, the opportunistic man here.
Oh, but look at this though. They're trying to fight back, and you never know what moves they could pull off. The run Martinez had out of the uphill bend was immense. As the timer ticks down, 12 seconds remaining, they should cross the line with the checkered flag, and Alex de Alba will take one of the most surprising wins in the series. But here's across the line. Martinez, though, is going to make it a very close fight. Drag race across the line, and Martinez wins round 1 of the Go-Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship. What a win from Martinez there. Fought back, led the most laps of the event, and Alex de Alba. No, white flag. Sorry, white flag now. So the timer did not count. Excuse me. So we're getting a bit shaky there. So eventually they did cross the line with a second to go.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry about that, everybody, but this has been so exciting here. Donaciano Martinez trying to take the win here, but more traffic here in front, and really gonna be hard here as Donaciano Martinez and Roberto Montero fighting really hard here for the win. But Alex de Alba has shown that if you give him the opportunity, he will take it as well.
Yeah, so de Alba now drops to P3 in the end, so eventually they cross the line. So Martinez now should have the victory this time around, as he will cross the line unless Montero gets the run at the final corner. Oh, Martinez shaky. Montero now alongside him. Drag race to the line once again. Who's it going to be across the line? Still unsure there. Martinez by 16 hundredths of a second takes the victory in round 1. So we got it right the first time around by accident, and we actually called it the second time around correctly. And there you go, Martinez with... I'm out of breath. I don't know what to say anymore. What a phenomenal event.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we can also read the future, because we kind of called the race finish before it really happened. But a fantastic race here from the top 3. Congratulations to Donaciano Martinez on a really hard-fought victory here today.
Yeah, so right there, I just don't know what just happened there. At the end of that race, the Alba passing 3 cars, one of them a lapped car, 2 leaders to take the lead. Then to take what I thought was a victory, then Martinez crossed the line. I'm still unsure as to what's going on, but we know the results are confirmed at least. And Donaciano Martinez wins after 46 minutes, 2 seconds, 25 hundredths of a second racing here today for round 1. Montero 16 hundredths of a second behind there across the line. Top 2 for those two. Montero knocked off the top step of the podium for the first time in quite a while. We've almost been sick of him winning races as well. What about Alex de Alba though? Could have had the race win at the end. Very, very close between him and Martinez and Montero. He ends up in P3 at the end. Vera in P4. Olin ends up in the 5th position. Then Vite 6th. Cosio ended up coming home just ahead of Marco Antonio Luna Hernandez there in 7th and 8th. Contreras, Durelli 9th and 10th. Espinoza ended up in 11th. Hector Gonzalez, the last man on the lead lap, in 12th. Look at other drivers lapped throughout the field. Villamil, we knew, was in the top 10 for most of the event and ended up down all the way there in P13. What about Gerardo Hernandez, 41st on the grid, ends up home in the 14th position. Viles there, 15th. We know Sachevsky. Zanella with that early spin fought back 2 laps down to end up finishing 18th as well. Aguirre fixed those technical issues and he ended up rejoining the racetrack. Our pole sitter came home in 21st. And the 47 car field rounded out all the way down the order. Lots of drivers here. Kanache as well, we saw him spin. He ended up 29th, so DNF his name as well. Perez Gama we know too. And the rest of the field on your screen. You can just see, Alvin, this event, I mean, I don't know what to explain. Hectic, amazing, brilliant, entertaining. Lots of words to put to that.
Yeah, I think there isn't a single word that can describe what we saw in here today. Yeah, it started just a little bit shaky with some incidents here and there, but Johnny, those last 5 laps, nobody wanted to give a single inch. Nobody.
Yeah, that was well, that was some of the best racing I've personally ever seen, and to have it in the MX-5, to be honest with you, the MX-5 is one of the most heavily criticized cars here on iRacing. It was immense today, the MX-5 battling we saw, and we've got to see more of this. It was just unfortunate last season we didn't get to broadcast round 1 with the MX-5, so we never know if they might end up changing the schedule later on. We don't know if they introduce it. We don't know where round 2 is going to be, obviously, until 24 hours before the event. But Alvin, last thing I want to say about that finish was, what would be going through Alex de Alba's mind? Like, is he right now, is he disappointed with that? What's going on? Because that could have been a race win to his name.
Well, he was close in, and either of those 3 could have won the race today. So I am pretty sure that when you come in 2nd or 3rd place, even that close, it is really disappointing in a way, because you knew that you could have won the race, you could have taken maximum points, and when you see the results and what separates 1st place from 2nd place, it's 0.16 hundredths of a second. It does hurt. I gotta say that. It does hurt, and there's really no other words to put around that.
Yeah, so unfortunate day for Alex de Alba, but he ends up in P3 on the podium. A man who finished in P5 was Nahum Olin, and we join him here today once again. Welcome back to another season, Nahum, and what a day of racing, and what a result for you in P5 as well. You should be ecstatic. He's so ecstatic, Alvin, that he's almost lost for words.
Yeah, definitely. Well, after watching this round, definitely words cannot describe what we saw in here today. And yeah, we hope that we can get a word from Nahum Olin as soon as possible. But yeah, definitely there is no words for what we saw in here today, especially that battle for the lead. As soon as the second half here started, after the competition yellow, we knew that those 3, at one point it was 4 cars battling for the lead. Then it came down to 3. They battled really hard. Any of them could have won the race, but at the end of the day, it was Donaciano Martinez.
Yeah, and Alex de Alba, obviously, after the race, absolutely delighted for his event. P3, podium to his name. Good to see him up there. One thing I have to say, actually, is for Martinez to take that win, the confidence boosting for Melvin is quite important going into round 2 in 7 days' time.
Yeah, definitely. Really a confidence booster, as you just mentioned. Really important to get that first win, first blood. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the season here. So Donaciano Martinez really going through, having an advantage here. But let's not discount Roberto Montero. He can do amazing things throughout the rest of the championship. We saw it last season, and I really doubt that it's going to be any different going into the next round of this championship.
Yep. So Nahum joins us again right now. You there, Nahum? You there? We can hear you. You're all good.
Yeah. As you said earlier, I'm speechless. What a race! It was a very complicated race, very fun race. I'm so happy to start a new and final season.
Yeah, so like talk about your race anyway, because you were up there in the order. You ended up, you didn't qualify as well as you would have loved to, but you just avoided all the carnage at the start. You kept the car clean, and you ended up getting a great win out of it. Oh, not a win, sorry. Ended up getting a great top 5 out of it.
Yeah, I knew that this was going to be a very complicated race, so that's why I just went out these 2 qualifying laps. I didn't care really where I started, and the name of the game was to stay out of trouble. I've heard lots of competitors complaining, but you know what? There are races that you have to use the head, use the strategy, and move out of the way and get the car in one piece to get a result. And I think this was one of those races.
Yeah, what's the most difficult aspect of that? Because you've got 47 cars almost in qualifying, and how do you find that clean traffic? Do you actually ever find clean air in qualifying, or do you just have to live with all the traffic around you?
It's very complicated because it's not easy to find a gap. But you just go to a track and you make your own gap. That's how I managed to get a good lap, and then it's just riding the pack. If someone dives bomb you, you have to let them go. Get the car in one piece at the end. That's how you race in such a small track.
Yeah, and final thing, next week, we don't know where we are. You spoke about small track here, difficulties in qualifying. Hopefully we see another 45 plus drivers. And if not, regardless of that, the racing was brilliant at the top. When are you going to start getting up near the top? We want to see you up there in the top 3.
It's very complicated. I don't know if I even have the talent to be up there. These guys are very fast, but I'm very happy to be just to be able to compete with these guys. I'm so happy. I think that I'm a better promoter than I'm a race car driver. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to hang up the helmet and try to promote a better championship.
Oh, well, there you go. You never know. Nahum Malin speaking to us has done a great job behind the scenes here, helping out with the championship, as well as the others helping as well behind the scenes to get this underway. Alvin, right there, the traffic was an issue. We spoke about all broadcast, and then it wasn't easy for these guys. It was very difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Traffic was really an issue here today. We even saw it on the last 3 laps of this race. We saw traffic playing a huge factor. That, as a matter of fact, traffic was what allowed Alex de Alba take the take the lead of this race with 2 laps to go, and then we kind of went into the future kind of with our crystal ball, calling the end of the race. But really fantastic race that we saw in here today.
Yeah, and we've got Aldo Villamil joining us here for the first time. First time we've actually had a driver interview other than Nahum always shows up. So it's good to see. Aldo ended up home in P13. You were there in the top 10 all race. What happened? What happened with that spin? You just seemed so strong for most of the event, and then you just lost it with one small mistake.
He's speechless too.
He's speechless too. He's like, he's so ecstatic with his race, except for the spin. He doesn't know what to say. So, bizarre interviews here on Racebot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live. I guess if Aldo is having technical troubles and he can't speak to us, we may have to wrap up things here, Alvin, because now we've got Martinez leading the championship, bonus points to his name with most laps led. And you always say that's so crucial to get those extra laps led and those points. Obviously not pole position, that went to Aguirre, but there you go. Game on right now for Martinez and Montero for the championship. Don't forget the Alba too.
Yeah, certainly is. What we saw in here today, those bonus points really important going into the championship. So definitely waiting here for next round. And, well, like we just mentioned, we don't know what next round is going to be. We don't know the track. We don't know the car. So really a surprise for everybody here.
Yeah, it was so hard qualifying. It's my first time with the league, so
yeah, there you go. There you go, Aldo. He's responded to us. Are you there? Can you hear us now? You might be on a 3-minute satellite delay or something like that. I have no idea what's going on right now. But I think that should be I think that should be it for this round. As right now, next round will be in 7 days' time, and that will be on the 31st of October. As always, 1 week between each round for the Go-Kart Mania iRacing Pro Championship. Coverage will begin at the same time. That's 2:30 a.m. GMT for round 2 of the championship. Of course, that will be on Racebot TV, streaming live on iRacing Live as always. Thanks to all the viewers. Good to see a lot of you there for round 1. Good to see a lot of drivers out here in the field for the first round too. Thanks as always to Alvin Nieves alongside me, as well as Hugo Luis on cameras. This has been a Racebot TV presentation broadcasted on iRacing Live. Thanks to our sponsors iRacing and Wern Design, our graphics partner Istvan Balor for his eccentric, beautiful track camera packs, as well as VRS Coanda Simsport. And we say so long from Lime Rock Park for the Lime Rock Park Pinktober Grand Prix. What an event it was.